What's up, guys? Hold on. Let's let people come on in. Because, yeah, it was a little last minute that this was on my channel. So, uh, yeah, so we got a lot to talk about today. What do we got? We got, well, it's Sunday, football. And so yesterday the Rays beat the Astros to hold off an embarrassment. You know, the so the Rays had won the first 3 games of their series. They were up 3 games to nothing, and then let the Astros win the next 3. So the Rays were about to lose 4 straight and become only the second team in baseball history to lose a 7-game series after being up 3-0. So it's a good thing they won. I mean, it would have been embarrassing if they had lost, especially given that it was to the Astros and they cheat. I mean, that's all it is. They cheat. So, that's what. So, I feel like I'm talking to myself. Let's see. So, Let me put this out on the Instagrams and see if we can get some more people. The all right. So, hey, Dead Zone. Not much. Just trying to get some people on. So, so tonight we have the Braves versus at the Dodgers and Game 7. So, by tomorrow we'll know who's in the World Series. You have you shouldn't need to work to relax. That seems weird. But yeah, so we got the Dodgers Braves today. Either way, you have a good story. Either it's the Rays versus the Dodgers, which would be like a David versus Goliath type World Series. And also you have the general manager of the Dodgers, or no, not the general manager. He's the president of operations right now. But Andrew Friedman for the Dodgers, he used to be the general manager for the Rays and is largely responsible for, the guys that are running the team now. And while it's probably, there are some players left from his tenure that, that were in the minor league system as a result of him, but for the most part, it's turned over now. But one of the things was about the Rays is that they were all very like-minded. So, once Andrew Friedman left, they sort of didn't skip a beat. So there are a bunch of storylines with the Rays and the Dodgers. And then the Rays and the Braves, would just be a good storyline because they both have young teams, and it would be fun to see. But I'd like to see the Rays Dodgers just because, part because that's what I predicted. And then, yeah. But then we also have football. Big game today. I didn't even realize. So I completely missed that college football was going on. I'm not sure how, but I'm trying to see. Trying to pull up the matchups here, the games. Here we go. That guy, Trevor Lawrence, I saw yesterday of the Clemson Tigers threw for 5 touchdowns, which is just insane. They won 73-7. But trying to see, I thought Mr. Techbot would be on. So, yeah, we got, let me pull up the games again. So, in the afternoon games, we have Texans, Titans, Bengals, Colts, Falcons, Vikings, Broncos, Pats, football team, Giants, Ravens, Eagles, Browns, Steelers. Oh, wow, we got a lot of 1 o'clock games today. So first up, we got the Texans and the Titans. The Texans are 1-4. The Titans are 4-0. You can't bet against the Titans. Derrick Henry's a beast. So, and the Texans are struggling. They're not in sync. So, that's pretty much a lock. Especially, Tennessee's only getting 3.5. That's crazy. So, anything more than a field goal, if they win by more than a field goal, they win the spread, which is crazy. You'd think that, for such different teams, there would be a bigger spread. But, then you got the Bengals Colts. I mean, it's hard to bet against the Colts right now. It really is. It's just, it's, Jonathan Taylor has become, a dude, I guess. But, the Bengals do have Burrow. They do have players. They have guys like Burrow and Joe Mixon. So, I could see this game being very close. We'll see. I think I wouldn't bet on this game with the spread. Or I'd probably bet on Cincinnati just because the spread's 7.5. And I think it's going to be a closer game than that either way. So, then this game we got the Falcons and the Vikings, which is just, the Falcons are 0-5. They've gotten off to a horrible start. And then you got the Vikings, which is 1-4. Maybe give the edge to the Vikings just because, they have Jefferson and it's a toss-up. But then again, you could give it, you could say Matt Ryan's going to be Matt Ryan and throw for a lot of yards and come up with the win. So I don't know. Then you got the Broncos, Patriots. So, neither one. The Patriots are 2-2. The Broncos are 1-3. I would think the Broncos would be better, but I wouldn't have New England as -7 favorites. I don't know. That one's a toss-up. It's really whoever wants it more. Next up, you got Washington versus the Giants. That's like this is how bad the game is. The Giants are 1-point favorites. So the home team gets 3 points automatically. You never see that in football. You never see one -1 or +1 or especially since you can't score 1 point in football. I mean, the only 1 point you could score is an extra point, and that you have to score a touchdown to attempt. So, I mean, that's a complete toss-up. Maybe this is an opportunity for Daniel Jones to gain some confidence. I don't know. Who knows? Then you got the Ravens and the Eagles. I mean, you can't bet against Lamar Jackson. I mean, actually, so Carson Wentz is still gonna play. Is still gonna start. And I mean, it's just. I mean, the Eagles need to move on from Carson Wentz. I mean, he's just not getting it done. They drafted Jalen Hurts. You know, give him a shot. What do you have to lose at this point? You're 1-3-1. You know, I mean, this would be the point where you could salvage your season. Maybe. I mean, yeah. So we'll see. Then you got Browns Steelers. That's going to be a good game. You know, the Browns are finally getting it together. They're 4-1 this season. Let's see, what's Baker Mayfield doing? Baker Mayfield's. I mean, I think it's more about Baker Mayfield finally has a bunch of weapons, and you know they're falling in sync. So, but then, I mean, the Steelers are the Steelers, and they're going to year in and year out. And I don't know. That's going to be a really close game. The Steelers are 3-point favorites, but they're home, so that's basically even. You know, it's going to be a close one. And you got Bears, Panthers. Panthers are 3-2. Bears are 4-1. Panthers are favored by 2. Again, that's like saying, you know, I mean, that game's going to go either way. You can't bet on that one. I mean, and then you got the Lions, Jaguars. I mean, I thought the Jaguars would be better than this, but they just haven't been. Lions are favored by 3, which gives the Lions an advantage, you know, betting-wise, but I don't know. That's a complete toss-up to me. You know, then you got the Jets and the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins are 2-3, and they're 8.5, 8.5 point favorites. So that just shows you what the game's like. I mean, it's the Jets are just. I mean, they're still starting Darnold. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just awful. But the Dolphins aren't any better. You know, both quarterbacks have thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. So, in Darnold and Tannehill. So, you never really know. I mean, anyone could win. I would just think that the Jets got rid of Bell, so I don't know. I think the Dolphins have to be the favorite, but I mean they're both terrible teams. They're both bad. I mean, I guess the Dolphins aren't terrible, but they have pieces around Tannehill. It's just that they drafted Tua and he's not ready yet. So, Tua Tagovailoa. Then we got so that was the first 4 o'clock game, the Jets Dolphins. And then we got the second 4 o'clock game is the Packers and Bucks. So that's going to be a pretty good game. I mean, you got Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, got Ronald Jones. So, but then you got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you can't bet against Aaron Rodgers. He just keeps coming through. So, we shall see. But that's going to be a close game. The Packers are 1.5 point favorites. So, like I said, that just means it's a toss-up. So then the Sunday night game, we have the Rams and Niners. So, I mean, the Rams are 4-1, but they're not like a dominant team that, it's, Goff is Goff. Goff is good, but I mean, is he someone that I would say is amazing? Like, I don't know. I don't know. So, I think that's. You could see the 49ers winning that game. But I don't know. That's a tough one. Then you got the Chiefs Bills on Monday night in the first Monday night game. That's going to be a crazy game because they're both 4-1. You know, you got Patrick Mahomes versus against you got Patrick Mahomes leading the Chiefs, and then you have, it's like, I don't know, something got lit under Josh Allen's ass, and now he's playing like the Josh Allen that everyone thought he was going to be out of college. So, I mean, I wonder how much of that is the fact that they drafted Jake Fromm. So, this year, and he was seen as like the next Josh Allen was seen as just a stopgap for now. But, you know, they'll have a pretty good situation on their hands with Allen and Fromm. You know, I'm sure you could still get something, you know, even though he hasn't played. I'm sure someone would want, I'm sure Fromm would still make good trade chip. And then, I mean, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and you got Travis Kelce. And then you got other guys, too. So, you know, we'll see. I'm just trying to see if anyone's injured. I mean, Tre'Davious White's out for the Bills. Yeah, other than that, I think, yeah, I don't think it'll be like a bad, you know, there will be nothing from injuries that. And then in the late Monday night game, you got the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I can't bet against Kyler Murray, especially with the Cowboys, who Dak Prescott's gone, so I don't know. I don't even know who's their quarterback going to be. Oh, Andy Dalton. I mean, the Cowboys do have Zeke and CeeDee Lamb, so, you know, but see, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to bet against Kyler Murray. He has thrown a bunch of interceptions, though, so. But, you know, with his dynamic abilities and speed and stuff, it's. You just never know. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting because yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the NFL. I mean, there were a couple more COVID tests this week, positive, so. But nothing's canceled, so I don't know. Maybe they're just sort of going with it, realizing like you can't. I don't know. You can't just cancel games because of a COVID positive test. You know, it's maybe do it. Maybe like ask the teams if they're willing to play. I don't know. I mean, that's really all I could think of is that you get the team's permission to continue to play the game, and if not, then you cancel the game. You know, because you're not putting, there are no fans, so you're not putting fans in jeopardy. Although I think there are some stadiums that are allowing fans, so I don't know. It's all crazy. I mean, but at least it's somewhat normal, the football season, whereas the shortened baseball season was, you know, kind of normal, but you still had teams, games being canceled for like a week at a time, and I think the Cardinals ended up playing 2 less games than everyone. Like the season was 60 games, and the Cardinals ended up only playing 58. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, other than that, I mean, there's not much going on. Actually, when's um ooh. So this is some NBA news that I just saw. Likely NBA top pick LaMelo Ball signs with Puma. Like that's unprecedented. You never see Puma landing a top NBA. So I don't know. I just found that interesting. Um, Trying to see when's because the NBA draft is coming up. Wednesday. Wow, Wednesday, November 18th. So yeah, I mean this whole thing is crazy. Let's see. So here's an NBA. Here's a mock draft. At number 1, the Timberwolves are going to take Anthony Edwards. Golden State, James Wiseman. Let's see. Oh, the Cavs are gonna. They're the Cavs taking Denny Avdija of Maccabi Tel Aviv. So that'll be interesting. Trying to think. I don't know. I don't think anyone. No, I think there have been guys from the Israeli league sign, but or get drafted, just not. With the European players, they like draft and stash. I don't really understand how that works over there, but wow. NBC Sports has the Knicks taking LaMelo Ball at number 8. That would be interesting. So, yeah, I mean, that could be, that could be interesting. LaMelo Ball, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. That could be interesting. Let's see. Pelicans are going to take. They have the Pelicans taking Patrick Williams. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And the other interesting thing to look out for in the NBA is that, so in the draft this year, LaMelo Ball and R.J. Hampton both opted out of college and went to play in Australia. So, we'll see if it hasn't really been successful in the past when players have done that. I mean, there have only been a couple of players. I mean, Brandon Jennings was one of them. He was the big name. He sort of never really amounted to much. But, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see because if both of them have success, I think you'll see a lot more players doing that. But, I don't know. If none of them end up succeeding, then I think you'll see one or two players here and there do the same kind of thing where they go overseas. Maybe not Australia, but you know, Italy, France, wherever. And I could see them playing, unless the NCAA gets their shit together and eases up on stuff. And also, I know the NBA and the collective bargaining agreement in the NBA is almost up. So there was also some talk about, I know I had heard there was some talk about them going back to the old rules where you could come out of high school to the NBA. So, that'll definitely stop it. That'll definitely, you'll definitely see guys like LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton and guys like that come out of high school. Because, let's face it, these guys that go one and done, yeah, some of them are going to still go to college for that 1 year because, if you're a projected second round pick, it may be worth going to college to see if you could improve that draft pick, that draft status. But, and then speaking of the collective bargaining agreement, we still have a big one in baseball coming up. So, I was saying before they set up a season in baseball, I was saying that's what was holding the negotiations back. I think the players were, they weren't willing to give up certain things that they would have if the collective bargaining agreement wasn't up this winter. Because, it's one thing when you say, when you have no labor negotiations and you say, okay, we'll change the rules for this one season. But when the labor negotiations are after the season and, the owners could say whatever they want, there's no guarantee. The owners could easily say, well, they agreed to it this time, so, it's just, I don't know. But it should be interesting. There's also a lot of speculation about what the free agent market's going to look like in Major League Baseball, because owners are already saying that they're not going to be spending a lot of money this offseason. You know, even for a team like the Yankees that have a lot of money coming off the books, they don't, you could see them easily saying, well, one, the Yankees need to use this opportunity to get under the luxury tax, and I think they're seeing that and take this opportunity to become more like the Dodgers, where, I mean, I guess the Dodgers are a bad example because they spend a ton of money. They have a higher payroll than the Yankees, I believe. But, it's the Yankees have set up a good farm system in the past, like, 6 years, I want to say. I mean, they had a good farm system before, but I want to say it's been like the past 6 or 7 years that they've built the depth of the farm system where it seems like there are always exciting young guys that, while they may not be rated highly now, they have the tools to be rated highly in the future. And that's the mark of a smart farm system, a smart farm director, and people who oversee it. And that's what the Dodgers have become. Is that they're bringing up a lot of guys. They're sort of, instead of filling the holes with your minor leagues, you fill the holes with free agency. And I mean, that's really the success. The mark of sustained success is having a farm system that is consistently good, and and then, I mean, the Yankees, a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers, with a good farm system year in and year out, that produces talent every year, you could afford to go out and get the top pitcher on the market at whatever it takes. When you have 3 or 4 holes you need to fill, it's really hard to do that unless you can fill those holes. I mean, that's the other thing the Yankees have been really good at doing, is that they've been able to find good, like, key trades. Now, one of those key trades is one of those things is that when you trade for a guy like DJ LeMahieu, when his contract comes up, you have to pay him a lot more. You have to give him a big raise to keep him. So, but, that's where this offseason comes in, because where he could have been in line for a $25 million a year contract, or $20 to $25 million a year, are those people going to be out there? Are teams going to be willing to spend that much on one player this offseason? So, who knows? And maybe this is, I don't know. It's all up in the air right now. We don't know what's what. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean that's really it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I'm doing these alone, there's not much to talk about. It's sort of move quickly through things because there's no back and forth. But, yeah, so that's it. I am going to be going live later, though, to open up cards. So check out that. I finally got my shipment from Chalice Collectibles. I ordered soccer cards from them like 2.5 months ago. And I guess they don't send things out until, because I had pre-ordered some stuff too. So apparently, they don't do pre-order. They don't ship out until everything in the order is in stock. So I had to wait. But that's fine. It should be interesting. We got, I mean, I know the boxes like doubled in price since I got them, so, I think that, and I know, like, they're good quality cards. I got, they had Prism, and Prism's like one of the higher end. It's actually the most expensive NBA box right now. It's like $2,500. So that'll be interesting to see. And then, just come over, check it out, and see what I got to open. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna do it today. I think I'm gonna try and move it to like a morning, like a weekday morning, or like not early, but like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock Eastern, and that way, you know, maybe do it a couple of times a week. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, so thanks for stopping by Dead Zone. I think you were the only. I mean, I saw a couple of like the watch numbers were going up and down and up and down. I don't know who, but if you're watching on the rewind, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. And, I got a lot of content up on my channel, so go watch that stuff. Alright? Alrighty then. Goodbye.